I really like frogs, so 2 months ago I went down to my local forest and started a search. And after a few hours I finally found a little bit of frog spawn, so I placed some of it in this bucket and took everything home. Here I got to work designing a beautiful naturalistic aquarium. Since then I've had the privilege of seeing these tiny guys hatch from their eggs and slowly develop legs. And this morning I noticed 2 of them have almost fully developed into frogs. And I think it's really cool that we now have the entire metamorphosis cycle living in this tank simultaneously. We have a few tadpoles that haven't developed anything yet, we have a few that only have their back limbs, and we also have 2 almost fully developed frogs. And this poses a little problem. As of now there's no land area present where the frogs can go. And this was one of the main concerns you guys had in the comments of the last few videos I made about this tank. And it's a viable point. However, back when I put them in here 2 months ago, they were just eggs. And in the first 2 months before they become frogs, there's really no need for a land area. Now, to be fair, these 2 frogs kind of surprised me since I wasn't really expecting them to be there quite yet. I've been keeping a close eye on this tank and most of these frogs haven't even developed their back legs yet. So for there to be 2 frogs that are way ahead of the rest is kind of surprising. However, it does mean we need to make some adjustments, which is what we're gonna do in this video. So we need to get started by turning off the filter, and I think it's gonna be this one. Pull up the wire. And now we can gently remove the filter. Oh, what's on there? Is that snails? Let's put them in this bucket for a second. Okay, so it seems like even though I put a sponge over top of the filter, some tadpoles managed to get in, get trapped and unfortunately died. Which is really unfortunate, but there's nothing really we can do about it now. Alright, what I'm just gonna do is pull up random sections, cut them off, make a little clump like that. Then I'll put them in my tweezers and just replant them into the soil somewhere. Alright, next step, we're gonna push some of these leaves out of the way back here, more towards the front. We're gonna grab this big rock right here. Let's just gently put it down. Perfect. It does make the tank look a bit smaller. Alright, it's looking really good. And if we add the cork, that's beautifully going to float. Might be a bit hard for them to climb on there since it's quite a steep angle, but that's why we have these rocks as well. So I went to clean out this filter, but look at what I find in the bottom of it. It's completely filled with tadpoles and nearly all of them are still alive, so I'm just gonna dump this back into the main tank. To get these guys without all of the nastiness of the filter, I'm just gonna pour this into a little net and these guys can be freed back into this tank. Alright, our next step will be removing some of the water and I'm just gonna siphon out a bit. Alright, this is about as far as I'm gonna go. Oh yeah, little frog, big piece of wood. So we added this piece of cork, but it's a bit of a steep angle to get on there. So I've also exposed this tiny little tip of the mopani wood. It'll be a bit easier to get on there. But we're not done yet. Now there are a few more things we need to take care of. First of all, there are some ugly water lines that I'm just gonna scrape off, as well as push all of the biological debris on the glass back down into the water. So when I was cleaning the glass, I noticed both of the frogs were really struggling to get to the surface of the water. So I'm gonna lower the water level a bit more so all of the rocks will be exposed. Yes, this is what I like to see. One of the frogs is already using the big new rock all on its own. There he is on the big rock. Oh yeah, he's gonna love it in here. Alright, tank is looking great. We're in the home stretch now. I'm just gonna go into this tank here and scoop up some of this duckweed. Alright, there's some salvinia mixed in, but that's fine. Grab a bit more. Okay, we're almost done. The only thing we have to do is add the cling film over top. So we're gonna do that next.
The cling film will serve as a lid over top of the tank, so these tiny frogs won't be able to escape. Additionally, it will help minimize evaporation, as well as keep humidity nice and high, which is something amphibians really enjoy. One thing to note is that I poked a ton of holes with a toothpick to make sure there's some air exchange. And sure, it's not the most beautiful solution, but this is a temporary tank. In a few weeks, all of these tadpoles have turned into frogs, and at that point I plan on releasing them back into the wild, right where I found them.
Okay, I've decided I don't really like the cork in there, so I'm gonna take it out. We might need it later on, but since we only have 2 frogs right now, it's not really necessary, so I'm gonna take it out for now.
And with that address, this tank is now officially finished. I really enjoy doing maintenance on these tanks. I get to get up close and personal with the animals, and something about improving their habitat is quite relaxing and gives me a sense of satisfaction. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely make sure you subscribe, and in case you're hungry for more content, I recommend you watch this video next. I'll see you there.